Right, let's go from a company that is listed, Accentuate, to a company that is just about to list. In the studio is the CEO of a company called Attacq. It used to be Atterbury Acquisitions, and if you've been watching DSTV recently, you've seen quite a cute little ad where two little boys start to build a bird box, I think it is, and then right at the end they pan out to this tree and there's about 12 bird boxes and birds flying around. What that has to do with Attacq, I don't know, but Morne Wilken, the CEO, is in the studio to tell us more. It's a nice campaign, Morne.
It definitely is. I think the reason behind it is we do believe we create something unique. Although we focus on property, we do believe we create something unique for our investors, and creating opportunities is what we're all about.
You do realise your life is over now that you're going to list on the JSE sometime in October, because you're going to be subjected to intense public scrutiny, and people like me every 6 months are going to poke into your business. But why are you doing it?
I think the main reason is it's basically our next step in our, I would say, history of Attacq. Attacq was started in 2005. It's a public unlisted company. We've got over excess of 570 clients, our shareholders, and of which the major shareholders is Sanlam, Royal Bafokeng and the Mertec Foundation. And I think it's just the next step. We actually got a big pipeline of developments we will need to roll out over the next few years, of which Waterfall is the big one over the next 10 to 15 years. And I think it will ultimately create that platform, it lift the profile and effectively actually create liquidity for our shareholders.
Yeah, you've got about 12 billion rands worth of assets at the moment. The Waterfall project, which is the Mall of Africa, is going to cost around about 3 billion from what I understand. How much are you going to raise with this listing?
With this listing, we're looking to raise up to a maximum of 800 million. Obviously, if we need to, we won't raise a little bit less than that, but it's up to a maximum of 800 million.
And apart from the Waterfall project, are there others as well? Because I know that you've been involved in an organisation called Wingspan. You sold 30% of that. That was regional shopping centres. It seems to me you're going for bigger things, and the Wingspan didn't fit into your portfolio. Effectively,
the Wingspan was one of our investments. We see it as non-core at this point in time. The intent is to wind it down over time. It's consisting of 5 regional shopping centres, which we will sell down over time. The big focus is we've got a pipeline on excess of 400,000 squares of Waterfall is a big portion of that. But we also got exciting developments like a 75,000 square development in Newtown, which consists of about 35,000 in retail, as well as a new regional office for Nedbank, which is about 40,000 squares. So that's quite an exciting time for us. Why are you not going for REIT status? What's the rationale behind that? We're going to be a capital growth fund. We do believe with the investment opportunities we have is to reinvest our proceeds, and therefore we're actually a capital growth fund as a normal company. And with a REIT, you actually need to do the required payouts, and that wouldn't work for our strategy at this point in time. How about the property cycle itself? Everyone talking about interest rates potentially, well, the next move anyway, being to the upside, and there is a correlation between property and interest rates. Are you slightly nervous that you might be getting in at a point where the cycle starts to turn? I think the benefit we have over the last 8 years, we have gone through a few cycles. It is a cycle that's turning, but I think we doing our own developments and not being an income fund, we're actually a little bit protected, I would say, in terms against interest rates. And finally, the roadshow. You've obviously been out looking for investors. You spoke about the shareholders that you have at the moment. Are you going out there actively and telling people exactly what you're doing? Because you're doing it very visibly on DSTV with that ad campaign that we spoke about. What sort of people are you attacking, if you like, in order to become shareholders? I think we will appeal to the retail market, being a capital growth fund, but there's a lot of institutions that actually also like something new in the property market, where before I think most has been focusing on income funds, where we're going to be a capital growth fund. It is something new, so we're seeing a lot of investors. There's some interest, there's some, I would say, trying to compare it to the income funds, but I think overall people are excited about it. Is it going to be mainly retail that you're going to be exposed to? Because this Mall of Africa and Waterfall it suggests that it is mainly retail. Is that the case? No, not really. I think we've got a combination of retail, commercial. We even got a little bit of industrial. In terms of Waterfall, I mean, the total development bulk is 1.7 million bulk meter squares, of which the Mall of Africa is about 116,000 squares. So that is still a small part of the whole Waterfall development we're talking about.
Give us the dates, if you've finalised one, and also what sort of free float we can look forward to, what sort of market cap you're expected to have on the opening day.
Just to touch, we're planning to list on the 14th of October 2013. Our existing free float is 32%. If we actually get the 800 million all free floating potential, we will go up to above 40%, and we will have a market cap of about 8.4 billion.